All right, guys, so we're going to work on a closed guard break. From the top position, obviously breaking the bottom person's closed guard. And this is really for no gi. If we're in gi and somebody's on the bottom, they're going to be grabbing collars and lapels. It's a little trickier. But in no gi, they're limited to those grips, grabbing the wrists or using their hips. So often a lot of our guard breaks, he's here like this, and if I've already gotten up posture, right? If I'm down here, I'm going to be fighting to get up first. I want to get good posture. My head is behind his belt line. If I'm always leaning over like this, he can grab, pull me right down, and I'm fighting a whole battle here. If I get back, my head and posture is behind his belt line, and I can use my hands, whether it's on the hips, kind of like paddles, right on the bones themselves, and my elbows are dropping in. I can even come to the solar plexus here and push so I can switch from side to side. What I don't want to do is have stiff arms so his knees can come in, right? If he drives the knee in, yeah, that's where a lot of attacks come from. So I don't have to be locked in, but I do want to be tight here like this. So if he starts sitting up, starts grabbing for my head, I have some control and I can sit back. Makes it a lot harder for him to pull me back down. That's step one, get that posture. Step two is how I get out of this guard break. That's really my only job, is to break this, then work the pass. He's got a lot of things here. He's looking for attacks, maybe sweeps, holding my posture down, all that kind of stuff. So he's really in an advantage here, an advantageous position, right? But as I'm here, once I'm like this, a lot of guard breaks deal with the hips, but it leaves his hands open. So if I'm moving here and trying to adjust the hips, his hands are still continually attacking my posture. I don't like that. So this guard break, we're gonna deal with the hands, okay? Now, if I typically get 2-on-1, maybe here or in a baseball bat grip, that's awesome, and I can start working a kneeling or standing pass. But as I go here, the other hand's still free. So regardless of my grip and how I do this, gives him a post on the elbow. He can start pushing at my knee. He can start grabbing my hand here and even reaching for my head. Now, if I'm really good at my standing break, awesome, but it gives him a much better defense. We'd rather negate all that. So as I'm here with good posture, he starts trying to attack my wrist, and he should, right? And as I see that, what I'm looking for is to grab a wrist and pin it to his chest. A lot of ways this can happen. He might be pulling 2-on-1. When I see that, I get one, and I'm fighting this battle. He comes with the other hand. Maybe he grabs a wrist, either or, and I have to regrip it. I drive down and turn and drive this back down. A lot of ways we can get here. But what I want to think about is stiff arms and driving right into his stomach, right below the ribs, okay? Like this. And that's going to be our setup. If I get here, and he's a big, strong guy, pull your hands back, right? Can't last forever, but it's pretty good. But now if I do 2-on-1, now try to get your hands undone. See how much easier that is for him? So I'd rather get 1-on-1. It's not going to last forever, but it does give me some time. Now as I'm here, I'm going to pick a side. Really doesn't matter because I've got both arms controlled. As I pick a side, normally the bottom player should be going for this leg, right? They can start either opening their guard or going for the leg with their hands. But if they hold the guard locked here, his feet are negated. And if I got both hands, he's negated there. This is the trick here. This is what makes this work. I want to get his weight up on his shoulders. If I'm down here like this and I drive all the way through him, I'm pinning these hands and I drive all the way through him and keep his hips down too, as I come here, look at my balance. My head comes forward, my posture's rough. Even if I maintain his hands, he can start twisting and moving, and it throws me very quick. So a lot of people have trouble with this guard break. What I really want to do is just staple his hands to his chest. That's it. And as I step up, I want to encourage his hips to come up with me so that his hips are off the mat and all his weight's on his shoulders. So here's the difference. This is me pushing all the way down. Here, you can see my posture is rough versus letting him come up with me. Now you might say, oh, he's going to pull his hands back, but even if he does a little bit, so I'm here like this, maybe what, 20, 30%, not very hard. As I step up and he moves his hands around, great. Hips are still off the mat. If I let go, he's going to hook that leg. Now we're dealing with this, and it's a whole different world. So all I need to do is just kind of keep it out of the way. Even if we get up here and he's really wild, keep moving your hands, right? I still have an advantage. Ideally though, what I'm going to try to do is get 1-on-1 here. He's locked up nice and tight. My posture's good. I step up a side, and since I'm here, now that I'm up and the hips are off the mat, my posture's up, now I switch to the 2-on-1. I can go 2-on-1 here in the center. Baseball bat is fine. I like the 2-on-1 here and use gravity. Now again, he may decide to use his legs and break the guard. If he breaks that, I gotta be ready to go on to whatever attack or pass I wanna work. But if he holds on, we come back here, we come up, I get like this, 2-on-1, I'm instantly gonna drive my knee to that hip hard, okay? I wanna turn it in almost like I'm putting it right behind the elbow. Important point here is, if he starts rotating, I don't wanna drive this hand to the mat. So if he punches the mat like this, do you feel like you can shrimp out and move?
Yes.
Like, go ahead. yeah, I can't stop him. I'm gonna lose balance. But if I keep it on his hip, so as I get this 2-1, so I started 1-on-1, I come up, I switch to 2-on-1 and drive. I keep it on the hip, but I keep it off the mat. Try to shrimp out now. It's really hard. Posture is different. The second it comes down to the mat, he can punch the mat and move the hips. So let's keep it right on him. So 2 points. Bring his hips up with you. Don't push down. And as you switch to 2-on-1 and turn that knee in, keep this tight on the hip, not on the floor. From here, now that I'm tight, it turns his hips a little bit. I can even bring this back foot. I keep that locked up. So as I'm here, I want to go for this leg, obviously. Now that I've twisted this arm to the hip, I can switch back here, right? I'm in a good position to move. Already he's feeling that twist on the hips a little bit, right?
Yes.
Again, he may let go. That's my goal anyways. But if he decides to stay locked on, I'm going to get my hand here. Not my forearm for this one. But if I get here and I try to just push my arm with just my arm versus his legs, I'm never going to win. But I'll come here, push back. I'm using this as my anchor. I push away until I have a stiff arm, and then I use my whole body to drive down. It's uncomfortable. So now I have my weight stapling the knee, my armpit, elbow, and knee here are all blocking this so he doesn't pull in a knee shield. I don't want this driving in, being stuck here. I've done this work. I want to be like this. From here, see how he's posting on this? He almost has to. It's his only point to start working. I can work my knee slice, knee pin, leg lock pass, whatever, or just simply step out. So let's go through all that a little quicker. As a good posture here, of course he's going to be fighting my hands. We're dealing with all this different stuff. We're trying to get one, then the other. Good. Pick a side. As I get there, 2-on-1, and I switch my hips just a little bit. He's up on his shoulders. I want to keep his hips up. I don't want to drop him. Up here, hand comes back here, stiff arm down. Block that. Now I can pass and work whatever kind of stuff I like. Okay? So it's really important. If we look at it without a body, spend your time getting that one-on-one here. Don't drive. Nice, relaxed, up, keep that posture up. Now we get the 2-on-1, turn, and push. Those little tidbits have improved my guard breaking game a lot, so hopefully they help you. Best of luck, try it out.